Question 28. John and George ran a mile race on 2 different occasions. In the first race, John gave George a start of 10 yards and beat him by 10 seconds. In the second race, John gave George a start of 11 seconds and beat him by 5 yards. Find George's rate. Okay, considering that 1 mile is 1,760 yards. Right, so I'm going to say let x be John's speed, okay, which doesn't come into it, and y is George's speed. And then I'm going to say let t be John's time. All right. So if we look at George first, the first race, we're told that John gave George a start of 10 yards. Okay. So George wasn't running the full 1,760 yards. He was running 1,750 yards, right? So he's running 10 less. So I'm going to take 10 off of that. Also, also that we know George beat him by 10 seconds. So John beat him by 10 seconds. So it took George 10 seconds more than John's time. So time plus 10 seconds. Okay. So time times speed is distance. There we go. That's our distance equation, or our equation for George. All right. For John, the time John took times John's speed is equal to the full mile, equal to the 1,760 yards. Okay, for the second race, this is going to be exactly the same because he's going to run the mile in the same amount of time. Okay, but for George, we're told that this time, the second race, John gave George a start of 11 seconds. So he had a head start of 11 seconds. Okay, and so it took him 11 seconds longer, basically. Okay, so he was given 11 extra seconds times his speed is equal to, and he was beaten by 5 yards, so he didn't finish the whole race. He didn't, he only got to 1,760, take away 5. Okay, and John did exactly the same thing, right? So his time times his distance times his speed is equal to the distance of the 1,760 yards. All right, I'm taking this equation and I'm simplifying it, okay, the one on the top. So I'm just doing the 1760 take away 10 is 1750. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply the t plus 10 and bring it down here. So I have 1750 over t plus 10 is equal to y. Then up here, whoops, not up here, up here, I'm going to take this, my second equation, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cross multiply the t plus 11. Okay, and oh yeah, by the way, the 1760 take away 5 is 1755. Cross multiply, then I get y is equal to 1755 over t plus 11. Okay, so in each case I have y is equal to some fraction, y is equal to this other fraction, so I can equate the two fractions, right? So my 1750 over t plus 10 is equal to 1755 over t plus 11. Ta-da! Now I'm going to cross multiply like that. So the t plus 11 is going to multiply the 1750. The t plus 10 is going to multiply the 1755, giving me 1750t plus 19,250 is equal to 1755t. The 1755 multiplies the 10, giving me 17,550. I'm going to subtract 1,750t from both sides, get the t's on one side, and that gives me 19,250 is equal to 5t plus 17,550. I'm going to subtract the 17,550 from both sides, and that gives me 1,700 is equal to 5t. Divide both sides by 5. T is equal to 340. Okay? Since t is equal to 340, that means that John is running the race in 340 seconds. Okay. Now, but we don't really want to find John's time. We want to find George's rate, right? Okay, so I'm about to run out of time, so stay tuned for part 2.